Our next author is the author of What Happened to My Happily Ever After? Radical Approach to Revitalize Your Marriage or Divorce with Love, Belinda Zylberman. Hello, Belinda. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great. Well, I know you're a mediator. I have been to a mediator. Mediators do not always see people at their best. So I am very interested to hear about this year as an author. How has What Happened to My Happily Ever After been received? And what have you learned about your clients? How has your business changed? Share some stories about what this year has been like.
Sure. I think writing the book was an accumulation of many, many years of really wanting to do something different with clients who were primarily coming to me for uh, results and resolution to big conflicts. And for most couples, what that looked like in that time in my practice was divorce. It was basically like, get me out of here, get me out of this relationship, get me away from this person. I think writing the book was this marking point in my practice where I had come to realize that what people were really struggling with often was an inability to recognize early on in a relationship that conflict and struggle and transitions played a really significant and important role in any relationship. And we sort of misunderstood or had it wrong that every time conflict was arising, people wanted to leave. And it was like, that's exactly the time when it was time to stay and dig in and really get into what was possible in a relationship. So with writing the book, it was sort of my coming out story of like, this is actually my philosophy. It's what I've practiced in my relationships, having had several marriages myself, and not having had this mindset at that time, but really learning over time and meeting with hundreds and hundreds of clients and recognizing we're all sort of living similar patterns and similar stories. And it was time to bring that sort of to a halt and at least give people the opportunity to consider, well, what if how I had it was wrong? What if the conflict was actually for me and not against me? What if there was opportunity here? Can I sit with that long enough to consider that to then really make a conscious and intentional choice to either stay in the relationship and dig in with all that conflict and juiciness and love and all of that, or to leave, but do it in a way that would be significantly different than generally what we hear people's divorce stories look like.
Yeah, I love that. What are some, maybe it's a client story you want to share or an opportunity that came out of being an author, but what is your favorite thing or one of your favorite things about being an author that's happened this year since the book came out?
Well, I had the courage a few months after the book coming out to start a podcast called Take a Shift. And it's gotten a really nice following and a nice audience. And there's been a tremendous amount of feedback of not just how some of the ideas and my philosophy have impacted people in their relationships, but really it's more of a mindset change. And so it's been wonderful to work one-on-one with clients and do this work and this very intimate work and watch people go deeper and dig deeper and feel these shifts in just how they're experiencing their life, not just in their relationship, but then also to be able to reach people beyond my in-person or now on Zoom client sessions and reach a larger population, to really start plugging in some of these ideas and have people testing them out in their lives and seeing if their lives start feeling a bit differently when they do so.
I love that. Have you seen people treat you differently, opportunities show up because you're an author, or is it more like everybody in my job is an author, I had to do it, check the box, or like how has it changed you personally being an author?
Well, I think, at least in my line of work, but perhaps many of us who came to the author incubator as seekers, and as servants, I think I had spent the majority of my adult life sort of finding my place, finding my role, finding my voice, and questioning it. And I would say that that has definitively come to a close. That there is no longer this question of, you know, do I share this with people? How dare I share this with people? Is this right? Is it wrong? There's not that questioning anymore. It's simply like a knowing. And the challenge has been and continues to be, I think, to whom and with whom do I share this? Um, and finding new venues and new opportunities to simply share these messages, share these learnings, because it's so much bigger, I think, than even what I imagined it could be at the beginning. And it's an unfolding that still, for me, what's exciting, I think, about the journey is that there end up being more questions and more openings. And for me, it's just about showing up and seeing what becomes available.
I love that. Well, you showed up for this audiobook and now it is available. So if you are an audiobook person and you are somebody who should be reading this book, now you can listen to it. It's What Happened to My Happily Ever After, the radical approach to revitalize your marriage or divorce with love. Figure out what's so radical about Belinda Zylberman by getting this audiobook today. So congratulations, Belinda.
Thank you.